We are in geometry. We are on lesson 1-16. Today is beautiful 12/3, December 3rd. We are in December. That means finals are on the horizon, which means that Christmas break is on the future horizon. All right. Vocabulary, parallel lines. You guys know what parallel lines are. Is there a quiet raised hand with a participation card? What are parallel lines? How would you describe it in your own words? There's only two people that know. And yeah, if you have your participation card, raise your hand with your participation card so I know that I can call on you. All right, Anna, go for it.
Two lines that never intersect, but go in the same direction forever.
I'm going to go like that. Yeah, thank you. That's mine now. All right, you can't participate until everyone else has turned in their participation cards. Thank you. No. Put it back, Leo.
That's actually like a benefit to me, though.
All right, we're trying to make sure that everyone can get some XP today. All right, so finding vectors that define translation. So a translation is always defined by a vector. You'll learn more about vectors when you hit pre-calculus. We are doing it right now, in fact. A vector basically just tells you what direction you're going and how far to go. These are super easy. Are you ready to see how easy this is? You draw a line with an arrow from C to C prime, or you could do it from A to A prime, or you could do it from B to B prime, or you could do it from D to D prime. Any of those arrows will work because they all are the same direction and they are all the same length. Any of those one lines works. That's going to be a question on the homework tonight. It's easy. You basically draw a line with an arrow from C to C prime or anything from a pre-image to an image. Easy peasy. We all nod our heads. Wow, that was so easy, Mr. Sindel. Yeah, all right. Let's go to example 1 where you actually practice drawing those arrows, those vectors. So I want you to each of these draw the vector that defines the following translation. You just need to draw one per pair of pre-image and image. Remember, you're going from solid to the dashed. From solid to the dashed. I should be able to walk around it right now and see 3 arrows or 3 vectors. I saw a bunch of beautiful lines. Here's one possibility. You could have gone from the solid to the dashed. Make sure for the last one or the second one that you're going to from the left to the right. And my arrow wants to.
Why are you doing it that way?
It's snapping. I don't know how to there it goes. If you hold option, it doesn't snap. All right, there's one of them. And our last one goes from here to here. You could have alternatively drawn it from here to here. It looks almost like it's the same line, which is okay. That's okay. All right, so we each have one vector. Nod your heads. Nod your heads. Nod your heads. All right, cool. So far, easy. This is the hard part of today. This is the bulk, the bread and butter of today. Constructing a translation. Right now, you know how to find the center of rotation by construction. You know how to reflect via construction. This is our third transformation that we've talked about, translation, and now you're going to do your final construction. Construction meaning you're using your compass and your straight edge. Hold up your compass and straight edge for me. Did you grab one? If you did not, go ahead and grab one. All right, good job, guys. It was in the warm-up. Warm-up says make sure you grabbed a compass and a ruler. Good job, Leo. Thank you. All right, so everyone get ready. Let me copy all this stuff. We are going to follow these instructions. We are going to draw a circle around P. The radius is AB. So right now with your compass, measure from A to B, and make that circle around P. I need to open a notebook so I can do this with you guys. I'll show you how to do this in about 10 seconds once my application opens. My computer is being nice and slow. Okay. Create a new file.
This thing's so janky.
Go. There we go. Oh gosh, my computer. So slow. There we go. All right, so this is what you should have done. Let's see here. I need to make this smaller so I can see it all on the same size screen. All right, I think I might have ruined the dimensions there. That's okay. All right, so we measured from A to B, from A to, oh my gosh, computer. y. There we go. From A to B, we measured that distance and we made that circle around P. All right, so we made our circle. Everyone has the following image. Yes? We're good? All right, now we need to draw a circle around B. The radius is AP. So I come here to A, I make my radius to P, come out to P, let me measure this exactly. AP, and then I'm going to draw that size circle around B. So come over here and draw that around B. So the radius is from A to P, and then I draw the circle around B. And hint, hint, you don't need to draw the full circle, you just need to make some tick marks. Those are the two intersection points that I got for my circle. You should have something similar, if not exact. All right, we're going to label this intersection right here on the right-hand side. We're going to label that point Q. We're labeling this intersection point Q. And then we're drawing the line, not line segment, PQ. We're drawing the line PQ. So I come back up here to my line tool. Question?
Does it matter if you chose the point on the left?
It does, yeah. For this one, it does matter.
So you should, is there a way you should always take the one on the right?
I'll talk about it in just a second. But that's a good observation. The one that's on the right, in this case, that was the one that worked. This is a construction of parallel lines. So far, all we have are parallel lines. Obviously, if I drew a line that looked like this, then it wouldn't be parallel to AB. My parallel line is a little bit off. I can see that already. And that's just from not being precise. It should look like that. I have no idea. All right. So that's how I make my parallel line. And remarkably, this point Q is actually a translation of P in the vector AB. So come back to our notes. Let's come back and say this. If this line segment right here, and I'm going to make this in red, if this line right here from A to B happened to be a vector, if this AB was a vector, then P translated by AB is Q. Let me say that one more time. If I need to translate P by the vector AB, that gets me to Q. You are translating along the parallel line. You know how to make a parallel line now with these steps, and you know that it's going to be one of these 2 points. It doesn't really make sense for it to be this point, so that's the translated point Q. Ask questions now, otherwise we're going to be doing a bunch of examples. No questions?
Just the examples on the back, right?
The examples on the back. We're doing 2 and 3, and then we're done with our examples. All right, so I'm going to do 2 with you, but you guys are helping me. You're giving me my participation cards back. Let me come here to a new page, and this guy needs to be smaller. All right, tell me what to do. Anyone that wants to get some XP and still has their participation card, what do I do? There's a lot of steps here. Beverly, you're first. Measure from which one? Measure from A to B. I did that. Oh. Measure from A to B. And what do I do with that measurement? Around P? Yep. All right, that's my first step. No, you're correct. Thank you, Beverly. I need to come over here.
Can I participate next?
Beverly, somehow pass me your participation card. Thank you.
Can I participate next?
Sure, if you want.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
No, okay.
I would love it if you participated, Jaden. Pass it down, pass it down. Thank you, Leo. All right, who's next? I have 2 cards. Samantha's next. Go for it.
It's clearly visible.
Well, like, I don't know if this is right, but do you draw, like, this, with the same measurement, do you draw a circle around?
Yeah, you can. So you're going to do both at the same time. That works. So this is going to be the same size circle around P2. Let's go ahead and do that. Thank you, Samantha. Pass me your participation card. I didn't specifically say that we need to do one at a time. We're going to be doing both of them at a time. Thank you.
My goal is to keep my participation card.
I think I
for
should get XP for in the participation card.
I'll give you some XP for doing that. You're working really hard over there, Leo. Ellery, what are we going to do next?
Measure the difference from A to P1, and then you draw that circle around B.
So from A to P1. And let me rotate this guy down here. So you're saying from A to P1.
Measure that difference, and then you draw that circle around B.
And then draw that circle around B. Okay, everyone is following. We measure the distance between A and P1,
This thing's so.
and then we move the compass around B, and then we're going to make a little tick mark.
Look how bent this is.
Dude, this thing's so loose it doesn't keep.
It'll
its
still
shape.
work.
This thing's so.
And we make our little tick mark.
No, you bought new ones.
There it is.
No, Dad.
Ellery, somehow pass me your participation card. Thank you.
This thing's
Thank
so
you, Colby.
loose, dude.
All right.
Right, you don't very much.
Someone tell me what to do next. Maybe something about that intersection point. That's an easy participation point.
Except if you're not. who wants
What is that thing? What is this intersection that Ellery has found for us? What are we going to label it? I know Ellery wants to participate, but she cannot. Has to be a participation card worthy person. What are we going to label that point? What are we going to do? Yeah, go for it, Jaden.
Should we name it Q?
We could name it Q if you want. A better name would be the prime version, right?
Oh, I thought we could have named it Q on the last one.
You could name it Q if you want. Can we give it the P1 prime? It would make more sense because
Yeah,
that's
that
the
makes
image.
way more sense. It's,
So- P1 prime.
I'm never gonna remember that, but let's do it.
And what is P1 prime, Jaden?
It's pi.
It is not pi.
No, it looks like pi.
What is it? It is the result of a what?
Reflection?
No, it's the thing that we're studying today.
I don't know what we're saying.
It is the result of a.
Intersection. Translation.
There it is. Translation. Thank you, Jaden. Hand me your participation card
Silver. That's the last card you'll ever get from me, just know that.
for today, maybe.
No, forever.
All right, we found P1. That is the translation of P. Perfect. We have to do something similar to what Ellery did to P2. Quite raise hand with your participation card. What are we going to do? Oscar, yeah.
Okay, so you get A and B2. And you get
So we're measuring the distance between P2 and A, or A and P2.
Yeah.
Let me do that. Okay, then what do I do?
and then you do a circle around B.
And then do a circle around B. Maybe I need to change the angle here. Make a circle around B, come down here. There should be an intersection point right there. Notice that I'm not making my intersection up here because that wouldn't make any sense. All right, thank you. Oops. All right, Oscar, hand me your participation card in my inbox. Thank you, thank you.
Measure from
Oh man, Leo's really eager. Go for it, Leo.
Okay, so then you label it P2 prime.
P2 prime. And what is P2 prime, Leo? It's the result of P2 after a translation. Yeah, there it is. All right, we're almost done. Leo, there's your XP. Did I give Oscar his XP? I did, yep. My final step. I started with a line segment. I need to end with a line segment. Right now, all I have is P1 and P2. I only have 2 points. So my final step is to get to that same pre-image in my image. So what is my final step? If I start with a... Yeah, go for it, Lorena.
do you draw a line from prime P1 to
It is. P1 prime to P2 prime. There's my line. Thank you. Hand me your participation card. There it is. We have now translated the line segment P1, P2 to P1 prime, P2 prime using vector AB. Good job.
Crazy. Just right. There's gonna be an uproar.
All right, so that was example 2. Do you guys want to do example 3 together, or do you think you can do it by yourselves? You want to try it by yourselves? No? You want to do it together? Okay, we're still a little bit shaky. If you can do it by yourself and you've already participated, that is a good opportunity to do it by yourself. If you want to still get your participation points, here is your time.
It's gonna be a tough work.
Yeah, Mr. Snow, enjoy it while it lasts.
All right, what is my first step?
So you want
Okay,
to.
no cup.
Chewy,
Don't you do that little? Don't you trace the A and B or like get the measurement?
get the measurement of A and B.
Yeah.
So from A to B.
Mr. Snow.
Okay, so there it is. Thank you, Chewy.
You take my card now.
What do I do with that measurement? I put it around where?
Oh,
So to get your full point, what do I put it around? P1, P2, or P3? P1, okay. Thank you, Chewy. All right, what's my next step? Chewy has participated. What is my next step? Someone that has their participation card, this is your chance. These are easy points. Colby,
Do the same thing around P2.
do the same thing around P2. Yoink. Thank you,
Oh
Colby.
my god. Mr. Snow, this thing is so loose that it will not keep its shape.
You want to grab a different one?
There is no other one.
There are no
Beverly
other ones?
stole them.
No, I didn't.
What's another thing we can do? Anyone? Caroline.
Same thing around P3.
Do the same thing around P3. Thank you, Caroline. Turn in your participation card.
I guess I'll just use Mr. Limpy Loose over here.
What's next? People that have a participation card. You know who you are because you still have your participation card. What do I do next?
I lost one.
What did I don't answer?
Martine.
Don't you have to get the distance from P1 to A?
P1 to A. Yes, you do. You always go from whatever point you're looking for to the start of the vector. That's your hint if you are ever confused. Go to the start of the vector. All right. And what am I going to do with that measurement, Martine? Do you remember? Something about B?
I'm not even gonna try.
Draw the circle around B. There it is. There it is. Thank you, Martine.
Have a little block pencil for this.
Yeah. There's a really tiny one. That might work. All right. What do I do next?
I've never smelled these on. I've had no one. It
Pregunta.
smells like straight pennies.
What is my next thing? Yes, go for India.
You get I don't know how to say it.
So measure the distance between where and where?
P2 and A.
Between A and P2. And then draw a circle around B with that measurement. Well said. Yeah, so let's move this down to B and make my tick mark where the logical translation spot would be. Thank you, India. You're good. People that still have their participation card, what's next? We're always measuring between the point and A and making that circle around B. If you can tell me explicitly how to do that for the third point, then you get your XP. What do you do? Who's out there still? We have Emily, Cheyenne, Atziri, Brian. Maybe Aurelio, have you turned in your card yet?
Yeah.
You have?
Maybe
Okay,
my
you're
circle
good.
instead of form, it would actually make it.
All right, one of those people with your participation card. Emily, go for it.
Do you measure the point between
P3 and A, yes, you do. And where do I make that circle around? Around B, yes. Turn in your participation card. Good job.
Even more loose. Even more loose. This thing.
Thank you, Emily.
How am I supposed to do it like a circle?
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. And finally, we need to label all three of these points. Who can label all three of these points for us? Easy, easy money here. I know that you want to do it, Leo, but we have to give it to someone that has their participation card still. Cheyenne, Brian, Atziri. what do I call these things? Look at your last example. This is called P1. Go for it, Brian. P1 prime. Oh, let me go back to a little skinnier. There we go. P1 prime. What about this one? This one is going to be called P2 prime. And finally, P3 prime. Turn in your participation card. Thank you, Brian. You're on it. Who still has their participation card? I think Atziri does. All right, Atziri, I'm singling you out because I don't think anyone else has their participation card yet. So Atziri, we started with a triangle, but right now we only have 3 points. So what do we have to do in order to end with a triangle as well? This is for you, Atziri. Make a line between where and where? P1 or P1 prime? P1 prime? Okay. So just connect all the points like that. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Atziri, turn in your participation card. Good job. Done. There's our third example. You know how to construct a translation now. That is the end of our notes. That was example 3. Once you finish writing your summary, raise your hand. I will come by with the homework and you can begin on the homework. It's doing the same things.